back with more Buffy. This is episode 7 of season 4, and I would say I'm excited to carry on with the season. I mean, I am. But yeah, the last episode, it's not something I'm going to be getting over anytime soon. Let's put it that way. Heartbroken, devastated, to put it lightly. Hitting like a ton of bricks. And yeah, that was quite awful. But yeah, I have to carry on with the show, obviously, because I still love it. But you know, I'm not going to lie and say that, you know, that's not a big blow for me and a big loss, because it really is. But there's still so much of the show to enjoy, so much still to love, and onwards and upwards, you know. And hopefully, well, I don't want to see Willow suffering, but I also kind of feel like I need to see it, because seeing Willow heal from this whole thing will help me heal as well, I think. So in that respect, I am very excited to see what's going to happen next. And also, we had Spike very briefly at the start of the last episode, so I'm hoping he's going to be in this one. And he got taken by those guys dressed in black with the guns and everything, and Buffy found out about them properly and got suspicious of them in the last one. So I'm hoping that's all going to tie together now. We might learn a bit more, so that's exciting to learn a bit more about the big bad and the plot for this season. So yeah, there might be a bit of pain, but I'm still very, very excited to carry on with the show and see what this season still has to offer. So without further ado, let's get into it.
She's alright, I guess. She's just kinda...
She's more than alright.
peculiar.
Peculiar?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Would you really want to go out with her?
Hell yes.
Yeah.
A lot of guys would like to get their hands on her.
Slayer.
We saw them like get a vampire in episode 1, didn't we? So did they experiment or something? Oh, okay, not just vampires. Ooh, my goodness, what is this? I'm intrigued.
Once again, I'd say that you and I will not be needed to help Buffy.
Really?
Really?
The girls in my hall want a party. Willow needs some cheering up. I'm going to take her.
How's Will doing?
With the black hole of despair she's been living in since Oz left. She's dealing. I'm helping. It's hard. Ergo party.
Big mood.
You two can take patrol. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Well, that's good. They wanted something to do.
All I know is one minute I'm running for the Slayer, and the next thing I'm here. The Slayer! I knew it! She took apart my crew and led me straight to these guys.
Set me up too.
Oh, is this the guy from episode 1?
That bitch got some funding. Wised up a bit. Fine!
She's got some funding.
He's not gone. He left temporarily to a few things.
If your friend can't respect my schedule, I think it's best he not come back.
Oh, this hurts so much. I can't even tell you.
Just human behavior. You might try showing some.
Oh!
It's not my job to coddle my students.
Xander!
Yes, Mom?
I made a nice fruit punch for you and your friend. Would you boys like some?
Is it raspberry fruit punch?
So she said human behavior. Clingy. I mean, we got a little physical. Fully physical. And then she's all over me, you know?
And then
like
she beat you on the head,
No, but
and it was iconic.
Yeah. The toilet seat doesn't follow you around after you use it.
Shit!
I can't believe that I did that. I just didn't like hearing her talk about Buffy that way. I think that... Well, I guess I like her.
you're kind of like a moron.
Well, how about that? Oh.
Sorry. Can't stay.
Oh, bad day for that guy. Oh, oh shit. Oh, I like that Spice made a friend. Whoa. That's badass. Oh.
New plan. We split up.
Uh. Oh, well, he had made a new friend. Oh, stop it.
The only thing that I know she likes is you.
Oh,
What,
same.
What do you want me to do? Say that I help. When you start a conversation, it goes great. You like Buffy, she likes you.
Oh no.
You spend time together, feelings grow deeper. And one day, without even realizing it, you find you're in love. Time stops. And it feels like the whole world's made for you two, and you two alone. Until the day one of you leaves and rips the still beating heart from the other, who's now a broken, hollow mockery of the human condition.
Oh.
Yep,
Well, that made me really sad. He did save your life, sweetheart. Oh.
What?
Well, I'm not saying it's the key to her heart, but Buffy, she likes cheese.
That's a start. Has she ever said it?
Sorry.
That's discouraging. Still, I feel like I have a fighting
Been
chance
busy with
with
Parker.
my new accomplice.
I'm not your accomplice.
No, of course not.
I'm not.
You're not.
We're clear.
We're clear.
I quite like Riley, you know. He's alright. Oh.
Oh, just don't ever do that to me again.
Oh, never.
Absolutely going to do that to you again.
Watching, waiting for an unseen enemy that has no face. Nerve-ending, screaming in silence. Never knowing which thought might be your last.
Oh, shut up.
Giles and Xander need more scenes together.
Okay, she's wearing the halter top with sensible shoes. That means mostly dancing light contact. But don't
Oh,
push
I'm
her.
glad that she's
Setting
actually helping
conversations out of the
him.
question.
It's good to have something else to focus on
Ask her to dance.
instead of the pain.
If you hurt her, I will beat you to death with a shovel.
Big disclaimers, nobody's friend.
Have fun.
Well, if Willow approves, then I do.
Cheese?
Wow, he's a mood.
Fine, let's split up. No mercy, no warning.
I can kill you where you stand.
Bring it on then.
No.
Ow!
Oh no. The most epic battle. Oh, slow motion. What the fuck?
This crap belongs to Spike.
Spike?
Can you believe him?
This is me at a party.
I can't believe it. I don't understand.
Look at her little face. Oh, she's so adorable.
Get it done.
Well, you failed extremely well.
It's a great comfort to me.
This song.
Oh, yeah, it's a tape with some bands from last year's party. Association?
Pig.
Yeah. AJ!
Thank you.
Aw, that was nice.
I'll go find Buffy.
Oh, I love Willow so much. I can't.
Unfinished business.
Business. Right. Excuse us.
Oh, just when he's getting the chance. Aw, I kind of feel bad for the guy.
Look, I'm protecting you, buddy. I'm gonna see you mooning over some freshman for the next 3 months.
Retinal scan accepted.
I like her. I'm on your side.
I know you are, Grant. That's what gives me the strength to put up with this comedian.
Dude, a straight tip, I know about girls.
Exactly. Girls.
What?
Special Agent Ben Riley.
Special agent?
Problem is, what kind of girl is gonna go out with a guy who's acting all Joe Regular by day and turns all demon hunter by night?
Demon Hunter?
Thank you, Graham.
Graham? What?
Situation?
Gentlemen, suit up. We have a code red. Hostile 17 has escaped.
Oh, I have so many questions.
3 teams. Sweep and search just like practice.
Is it a coincidence that he has the hair of Leon from Resident Evil and now he's dressed like that? Or is that what he's inspired by?
Take this.
A flare gun? Xander, if I find Spike, I'm staking him, not signaling ships at sea.
You get into trouble,
Okay. I'll flare.
and we'll come around.
Okay, that's definitely going to come into play somehow, surely. Don't know how. Maybe it will attract Riley and
Find her?
the Power Rangers. So did Walsh know... Oh shit. That they were werewolves that attacked him in the last episode? She was just like pretending,
She's not
or...
making crazy naked sex.
Told you.
Look, Buffy, as long as you're out here, I'm staying.
Well, as long as you're out here, I'm staying. See ya!
Go.
Come in.
Oh shit. I knew it was going to be Spike as soon as she said come in.
Spike!
Shit.
What do you want?
Leave her alone.
A spell?
Ah! Get off her!
I don't understand. This sort of thing's never happened to me before.
Oh.
Maybe you were nervous.
That was all right when it started.
Did they do something to him
Doesn't
at
this happen to every
the
vampire?
place?
Not to me, it doesn't.
It's always like, oh, you're like a sister to me, or oh, you're such a good friend.
Don't be
No.
ridiculous.
I'd bite you in a heartbeat.
Yes.
Really?
Thought about it.
When?
Remember last year? You had on that fuzzy pink number with the lilac underneath?
I never would have guessed. You played the bloodlust kind of cool.
I hate being obvious. All fangy and take
Why do I love these two having scenes together?
Why don't we wait a half an hour and try again? Or
I was going to say, like, what are you doing?
She's contained.
Contain this.
Ooh! Ah! I knew the third gun was going to go into it. It's funny that they both have these secret lives. And that Riley kind of thought that Buffy was odd. And yet he had that life himself. And did he just see that that was her?
Agent Finn, tell me something good. By implant,
Tell me something good.
Can't harm any living creature in any way without intense neurological pain. Can't feed, can't hardly even hit anymore.
So what are they doing undercover at college and stuff? Ooh.
Did Willow tell you I like cheese?
you're a little peculiar.
Yeah.
I can live with that.
She has no idea just how peculiar. I love that episode. I thought that was so good. And I didn't want to die at the end of this episode, so that makes a nice change from the last one. Yeah, I just absolutely loved it. The twists and turns, and Spike being in it, as always. Willow being adorable. Getting, I want to say some answers, but also it posed a lot more questions, I think, than it answered any, really. But yeah, where to begin? I don't really know where to start. Okay, some minor characters, I suppose. Parker showing up, good continuity. I like that was kind of the catalyst for Riley realising that he liked Buffy as well. So it's cool that they kind of keep bringing him back. I didn't even have like any scenes of Buffy in this episode, he was just talking about her, so I kind of like that. Continuing to see what a fucking jerk he is, though. Completely disregarding the fact that she'd saved his life and was just kept bad-mouthing her. Ugh. So he continues to be the worst, but it was cool that they brought him back for this and continue to use him. I don't know if they will carry on having him pop up, who knows. But it does make for good continuity, and I did like how they used that as like the catalyst for Riley's story. And then also seeing Harmony again was cool. I liked her being brought back into it, and she has some really funny moments with Spike, and that fight with Xander. Oh my god, that was so good. That was so funny. Like they were kind of bigging up how much they could like defeat each other and like pulverize each other in a battle, and then it ended up just being that hilarious. So I love that. And I love how she just so casually like reveals that Spike's back in Sunnydale and everything. I thought it was really well done. Are we going to see more of her? I don't know. Probably, you know, she didn't die or anything, so we'll have to wait and see. But it was cool seeing her pop up again because I wasn't really expecting it. So that was good. And then Giles and Xander. I said in the last episode that Giles didn't really need to be in it. He didn't really have a role to play. They could have easily cut him out of the episode. And I got a few comments saying I think that was purposeful that they are doing that and that he didn't need to be in this episode, but he is. And I'm definitely starting to see what they mean in this episode. Because now looking back, you can kind of see he's just kind of trying to force himself into like the group again, because he doesn't really have as much of a place as he used to, being the Watcher and working in the library at the school and stuff. And then in this episode, he's kind of seemed very disappointed that he didn't have anything to do and he couldn't help in any way. Him and Xander, really. And they've both spent this whole season kind of like trying to find their feet and try and find their place in the group now, because their roles have so drastically changed after everyone started college. So I can definitely kind of see why they've written Giles the way they have and why he didn't necessarily need to be in the last episode, but he was anyway. I'm definitely starting to see that's more like a purposeful thing. So that's really cool. I think that's very kind of cleverly done. I'm sure they're going to explore that a bit more and actually have Giles and Xander kind of really voice, maybe to Buffy or Willow or someone else, that they feel like they're not really fitting in almost, or they don't have as much of a role as they used to, and that seems to be something they're quite insecure about, both of them, which I think is quite endearing, really. So I really like that aspect of it, and Giles and Xander together are hilarious. When Xander was like doing the badass voiceover and Giles just told him to shut up. Oh, that was so good. I would like to see that pairing a lot more often. I just think it's comedy gold when they have scenes together. And I've loved the idea that this season's been playing with, of like Xander almost being like Giles' assistant. So yeah, those two are great together. I hope we get a lot more scenes because they're really funny. And I enjoy what they're exploring, like trying to find their place in the group. Now things have changed so drastically in people's lives. So that's really interesting. Then seeing Willow continue to be sad breaks my heart. I want to hug her. And it, you know, it is devastating to see her go through all this. But I loved that, aside from that, she still kind of put things aside to help out Riley. Shows what a great person she is and how much she cares for like Buffy and everything. And she approved of like Buffy being happy with Riley, potentially. We'll see. So yeah, I thought that was really endearing of her, as I always do. But it's also, I think, a good way of her kind of keeping her mind off of things with Oz and everything. And that scene where the music was playing and it was reminding her of Oz, like, that was really sad. But I'm glad it didn't take up a huge chunk of the episode, because I think that would have really broken me down even more than the last episode did. But we're still seeing that Willow is, you know, still very much suffering. But I think she's getting by slowly. So I appreciated that. And it was cool seeing that, if nothing else, even if it is gut-wrenching to me that Oz is gone. And I loved her scenes with Spike. Oh my god, I adore the Willow and Spike stuff. Their scenes in Lover's Walk last season was everything, when he was kind of like breaking down about Drusilla and Willow was trying to like comfort him and stuff. It was so good then, and this was great as well. Even though Spike was going to like kill her, and he would have done if whatever they've done to him didn't work. I think they mentioned that they put something in him so he can't like bite anyone, which is an interesting idea. So how's he going to feed? I don't know. Interesting. And I liked that idea. I thought that was kind of clever as well. So yeah, their scenes together were so good when they were talking about performance issues, and when they were still trying to comfort him, even though he literally was trying to kill her again and again. Classic Willow, adorable, but I love their scenes together and how Spike was like, you know, I'd bite you in a heartbeat. There's a sweetness to it, even though he was literally trying to kill her. And the fact that they can balance that and make it endearing and funny, I think's testament to the writing and the performances as well. Because I think James Masters is just so good as Spike. It just makes it so endearing, and you almost can't help but love him on some occasions, even when you really shouldn't. You know, there's just a lot of charisma there, at least for me. I know there are some people who don't like Spike, and that's fine. But I really, really do. Yeah, I think if he'd been played by a lesser actor, I think Spike as a character would have really flopped, and they probably wouldn't have brought him back past like early season 2. If any other actor had played Spike, or any lesser actor had played Spike, I think they would have actually gone through with their original plan to kill him in, I think it was What's My Line. I think they were going to originally kill him, weren't they? That 2-part in season 2. So yeah, that's a testament to James Masters because he's just so good. So I love that he was back in this. He had some really funny moments as always. I loved him like trying to get out of that weird place. It's like some kind of weird like clinical institution under that house where Riley lives. So I liked getting some answers about, you know, kind of, well, not exactly answers, but we're seeing a bit more of what those like masked men with the guns are actually doing. So I liked that a lot as well. I love that this episode kind of directly addressed that and gave us a lot of plot twists, because Riley's involved in it and so is Professor Walsh. So they're kind of almost undercover, but also not, because it seems like they are genuinely like do that as their jobs and stuff. So that's very interesting. I wasn't expecting that at all. That was a really cool twist. So yeah, I liked that. I liked how Walsh was kind of involved. But it does have me wondering about her interaction with the werewolves in the last episode. And if it was genuine or not. I suppose she was just trying to keep face, I guess. I don't know. Interesting. But I love that twist. I think that's very interesting going forward, and I can't wait to see where they're going to go with this whole kind of initiative thing, and, you know, with Riley and Walsh's roles and things. I love that twist. I think it's really cool. Definitely made things even more interesting. Because I liked Riley before. He was okay, but we really didn't get a lot of screen time with him. But we really did in this episode. Now you can see kind of why they were holding back on revealing too much about him. So we're giving him an expanded role because he realised that he had feelings for Buffy, and we had that whole kind of thing going on. And then like you get that twist near the end of the episode where it turns out he's actually one of these guys as well. So it just added loads of layers to him in like a 42-minute episode, which is pretty good going, really. So yeah, I liked the exploration of like the Buffy and Riley almost parallel. It started with Riley thinking Buffy was kind of weird, then he realised he liked her. Then we found out about like his secret life, and the reason he thought Buffy was weird was because of her secret life. And then it ends with Buffy saying that Riley's pretty weird. I liked the parallels and the journey that they both went on in this episode. And I'm glad that Riley is like genuinely that kind of guy that we saw at the start, even before that reveal that he's like a soldier or whatever, an agent. Because that part of him is still genuine, even though he has this other side to him as well. So he does genuinely have feelings for Buffy, and he does genuinely like have quite a sweet friendship with Willow, I think, as well. I really liked their scenes together. And I actually really liked Riley in this episode a hell of a lot. He's like a really genuine and likeable guy. It was kind of wholesome seeing him try and woo Buffy in that way. And I'm sure, you know, it's far from over with those two, so I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with it. I wouldn't be mad at a romance with Buffy and Riley, as it stands right now. Things could change, I know. But I actually really liked him in this episode quite a bit. And, you know, that twist with him has made him all the more interesting to me. And I can't wait to see where they go with that and seeing, you know, if Buffy's going to find out. And if Riley's going to find out, like, to what extent, like, Buffy has with this Slayer life. Because I think he did, like, recognise her in the corridor with the smoke and everything, and he almost seemed to be covering for her when they were talking to Walsh. But I don't think he really realises exactly to what extent. You know, he doesn't know that she's the Slayer or anything. So I'm sure they'll find out about each other's lives at some point. And maybe that's going to be what gets her romance started, or maybe they're going to already have a romance, and then they find that out, and maybe that breaks them up. Who knows? But I'm very interested and excited to see where they go with that whole thing. But I loved the twist with Riley and Walsh, and I loved getting a look at the initiative and stuff, bringing back the vampire from episode 1. I think it was the same vampire, and his like 2-second friendship with Spike, classic Spike. So yeah, I loved getting a glimpse of that whole thing, seeing what's going on with that, and yeah, getting some answers, but a lot of questions as well that I'm really excited and pumped to get answers for. So I loved all of that. Yeah, just a great episode. I absolutely loved it. And I'm glad I did, because the last episode destroyed me. So I'm glad there was still a lot of pain in this one. You know, I'm still very down and blue about the whole Oz thing. But I'm glad I had a lot of like laugh out loud moments in this, 'cause I think there was some great comedic stuff in here. But they also weren't afraid to show Willow suffering. Great. But yeah, lots of good stuff going on with this. Loved everything we got about the initiative and this like secret base under the house. Riley and Walsh, you know, getting some answers about that, and seeing the twist with them, learning a lot more about Riley as a character and a person, even outside of the whole, you know, soldier thing. Loved all of that. Loved what they were kind of trying to do with him and Buffy. I think it's kind of wholesome in a way. And his scenes with Willow were great. I like that they're continuing to show Willow trying to heal, hopefully. I think she'll be okay. Yeah, Harmony showing up was funny. Giles and Xander were comedy gold. The Willow and Spike scenes were everything I've ever needed. Parker's a dick, but that's nothing new. Yeah, I just love this episode, and I can't wait to see where we're going to go from here. Should be very interesting. Yeah, this was a great episode. I absolutely loved it, and yeah, I definitely needed an episode like this after the last one, so I'm very glad that I got it. Yeah, that was great. Loved it. And I can't wait to see where they're going to go with this. Lots of interesting stuff going on. You know, Spike's still kind of out there. And looking forward to seeing what they do with him. Now he's got this thing where he can't like attack and bite people. Should be interesting. Can't wait to see what's going to happen next. And yeah, great episode. Until my next reaction, thanks for watching.